Hey, welcome everybody. It's Jason Barnes and Lucy Tolkinen from SKED.
You got that right.
Awesome. You know what? I was worried about it. I checked it beforehand, but it actually did work. And so what we're here to create a brief video about today is we've got some really cool features to help with patient retention in our office, but I got to tell you who really helps get us in the end zone. There's partnerships like SKED. And so what we're trying to do today is make sure that you know some features exist so that you can minimize patients that drop out of care from no-shows and no future appointments. So what we're going to get into is really what we're sharing on the screen today is a task manager console so that you can see, hey, we automate the detection of a patient who either no-shows or doesn't have a future appointment. We pride ourselves in making sure that you're not looking at a report every day trying to follow up with your practice, figuring out, okay, did you call patient Lucy SKED? Hey, what was you got her voicemail? Okay, did you text her? So we want to make sure we automate all of that, and that's why I'm excited to bring Lucy onto the call today. I guess it's not a call, it's a video, to make sure that we're going to pop this up for your CA or your office manager, who's ever responsible for that. And SKED shares the same values about automating everything that they possibly can in your office. So we're going to automatically remind you when there's a patient who's fallen off the queue, and then SKED is going to help you take it the rest of the way for really effective communication with that patient. Lucy?
Effective communication in a sense where you can send them a text message and an email automatically. So we can just show you that really quick with the tasks that you have in place. With SKED, we have templates where you can choose from and quickly send them a reactivation text message template specifically to that client by pulling up their last name right here, selecting it, choose how it's going to be sent, an email, a text. A push notification is just going to show up on their home screen like you're familiar with already. And it's that simple.
So now, Lucy, with us, we're not going to get a response back on every single phone call. We're not going to get a response back on every single email. We're not going to get a response back on every single text. I wish we did, right? But from our perspective, how are they going to check to see who's responded back to them?
So in SKED, all the responses get sent back to your SKED inbox. So everything is in a very clear and concise format. Your team does not need to be checking multiple avenues. Everything gets responded back to your SKED inbox.
So for us, we would come over here into Genesis after you sent the messages for the patients, grab all the tasks at once, and use a verb. SKEDed. How would we use that as a verb?
Sure.
SKEDed. And then we could grab all those tasks, with that one message, and let's just say you had 10 of them, and you could easily, I say easily, but my mouse isn't working here, and I can forward these till tomorrow, because you want to have a policy in place for your office that says, hey, when I have a patient that I haven't rescheduled a visit for, or whoever, God forbid, left this office without a future appointment, I'm going to have a policy that I'm going to follow up with them with 3 really distinct and on-purpose communication protocols, and that you're going to document those here that I did that. So you're going to finish those with your patients, push out a day or maybe 2, depending on whatever your policy is. You're going to save that, and it's going to take those tasks off of your workbench, move them to the next time that you're going to want to do them. And in the meantime, if somebody gets back, you're going to see it in your SKED inbox.
So also the day and time that you selected to create those tasks to follow up with, you can also have your team go in and create those same tasks for those messages to be sent out by scheduling that text message follow-up to that specific day that task is already in Genesis.
And so the last thing that I would talk about from a Genesis perspective is you might be thinking to yourself, well, I don't have many patients that leave with no future appointments. How would I find out if that's happening for me? And this is the one time where I think a report is a really good idea. And I'm just going to grab that for you real quick, Lucy, and then I'll bring it right back over here. So if you head over to reports, scheduling, and you have your patients with no future appointments, you'll change the date range on the bottom of this to see how many times it's affecting you. And so you'll run that date range. It'll bring up the patients that didn't have a future appointment, meaning they left the office without one. And that way you can see whether or not you have a problem. And a lot of times you think it's not happening to you, but if you find that it is, heaven forbid, you want to have a protocol in place to make sure your team knows how to spring into action and that you have the setting in Genesis to remind you so you can use the awesome tools that SKED has to connect with them. Anything else, Lucy?
No. If you guys want a demo, go ahead and reach out. You can reach out to us at www.sked.life and schedule yourself a demo, and we can go into more details on how we can help your office. Yeah, so before you get to that point of having no visits scheduled for them, getting them back on the schedule, you can go ahead and utilize SKED. We have automated message reminders that can go out before any specific appointment, after any specific appointment, or even utilizing it once they are checked in at your check-in station. So again, when you're running those reports in Genesis as a last-ditch effort to get them back into your office, there's systems and procedures in place with SKED already that they're getting those missed appointment reminders, including your customization as the office here. There's already systems and procedures in place before you get to that point.
Hopefully we can get one ramped up.